She's smiling at you. The conversation seems to be flowing fine, but something feels slightly off. You can't quite identify it. Yet there's a clear gap between what she says and what you sense she's actually feeling. Welcome to one of the most confusing realities of male-female dynamics. The things women think and feel, but rarely ever say aloud. Today I'm revealing 7 secrets women carry with them every single day. Truths they almost never express directly to men. These aren't manipulations or mind games. They're unspoken realities women hide, because society has taught them that revealing these needs, desires, and truths might make them appear needy, demanding, or complicated. Let's uncover the secrets hiding in plain sight. Secret 1. She's constantly testing your leadership. Here's something most women will never admit outright. They're always observing how you lead, decide, and take charge when it's necessary. Not because they crave control or domination, but because they want to know whether they can finally relax their constant vigilance and trust someone else to steer things for once. I learned this lesson through a painful pattern. Women would ask where I wanted to go for dinner, and I'd respond, "I don't know. Where do you want to go?" I thought I was being considerate, cooperative, but I'd see a subtle disappointment in their eyes, a shift in energy I couldn't explain. Years later, one ex finally put it into words. She told me that every time I pushed small decisions back on her, it felt like I was making her carry the mental weight of the entire relationship. What she really wanted was someone who could confidently make decisions sometimes, handle the outcome, and give her a break from constantly being the one to figure everything out. That doesn't mean making decisions without her input. It means being willing to take ownership when needed, to have opinions, preferences, and to take initiative without requiring her to manage every little detail. Women spend their lives making decisions, for themselves, and often for others. The man who can occasionally lift that weight through calm, confident leadership becomes extremely attractive. Secret 2. Emotional strength matters more than physical strength. Society and media constantly tell women to value physical attraction, muscles, appearance, the stereotypical masculine image. But what women rarely say is that emotional steadiness is far more attractive in the long run. Emotional strength means staying composed under pressure, handling criticism without becoming defensive, facing conflict without losing your cool or shutting down. It means managing your emotions maturely instead of expecting her to do it for you. I saw this difference clearly at a friend's wedding. There was a guy who looked like he belonged on the cover of a fitness magazine. Easily the most physically impressive man there. But when his girlfriend got upset over something small, he became defensive, loud, and dramatic. Meanwhile, another guy, average looking at best, stayed calm and understanding when his partner got emotional. Every woman who saw both situations knew who the real man was that night. Women won't usually say this outright because it sounds like physical attraction doesn't matter. But that's not true. Physical appeal might open the door, but emotional strength decides whether she wants to walk through it. A man who can stay steady through her emotional storms, who can offer psychological safety, becomes more attractive with time, while purely physical attraction fades. Secret 3. They want to be wanted, not needed. This is one of the hardest dynamics for men to grasp. Women crave to feel desired, appreciated, and chosen. But the moment that desire turns into neediness, attraction disappears instantly. The difference between wanting and needing seems small, but to women, it's the line between attraction and suffocation. When you want someone, you're whole, choosing to share your complete life with them. When you need someone, you're empty, seeking someone to fill what's missing inside you. Women can feel this difference immediately, even if they can't explain it. I made this mistake throughout my 20s, depending on women for my happiness. I'd text constantly, get anxious when they were busy, and arrange my schedule entirely around them. I thought I was being devoted. They felt trapped, and every time, attraction eventually faded. Secret 4. Attention to detail matters more than big gestures. Movies and media have convinced men that love is proven through grand gestures, gifts, surprises, big declarations. But here's what women rarely say: it's the small, consistent details that matter most. Remembering she was stressed about work and asking how it went means more than random flowers. Noticing she's tired and offering to handle dinner means more than a fancy restaurant. Remembering her preferences and acting on them day to day means more than jewelry on special occasions. One woman told me the moment she realized she was falling for me wasn't after an expensive date. It was when, weeks later, I remembered the exact tea she casually mentioned liking and showed up with it. That small act of attention meant more than anything money could buy. Secret 5. They need space, but fear asking for it. Here's something few women say openly. They need time alone, space away from the relationship, time to recharge. But they're terrified of how that request will be interpreted. Many women have been conditioned to think that wanting space makes them seem cold or unloving. I once misread this badly. When a girlfriend started becoming distant, I assumed she was losing interest. When we finally talked honestly, she said she simply needed room to breathe. to be herself without guilt. When we both learned to respect each other's independence, the relationship became healthier. She was more present when we were together, because she wasn't drained by never having time to herself. Healthy love is two complete people choosing to share life, not two halves trying to merge into one. Secret 6. Competence is deeply attractive. This is another truth women almost never say outright. Competence is sexy. Seeing a man handle his life confidently, cook, manage money, stay organized, maintain health, signals stability and self-respect. It's not about being impressed by the basics. It's about knowing you're capable of partnership, not another responsibility she has to carry. A man who functions well on his own becomes far more desirable than one who constantly needs managing. Secret 7. They're protecting themselves more than you realize. Here's the final secret. Most men underestimate how much mental and emotional energy women spend protecting themselves. From the moment they meet you, they're running quiet risk assessments, reading your tone, reactions, and body language, scanning for safety. It's not paranoia, it's experience. Women learn early that they must stay alert. They've learned to manage men's egos to avoid anger, to watch their drinks, to share their location with friends before dates. Once I understood this, everything about my interactions with women changed. Creating genuine comfort means showing, not saying, that you're safe. It means being consistent, calm, predictable. A man who can handle rejection, disappointment, or boundaries with grace. Women don't often explain this openly because doing so feels vulnerable, or because experience has taught them that some men react defensively. But when you understand this truth, and act accordingly, everything shifts. These 7 secrets aren't about women being mysterious. They're about seeing the quiet realities shaping their behavior and emotions. Once you grasp these unspoken truths, everything about connection becomes clearer, simpler, and more authentic. When you begin to truly see these hidden truths, not just intellectually, but through experience, something profound happens. You stop reacting to surface behavior and start understanding the psychology behind it. You stop getting frustrated by mixed signals and begin reading the patterns underneath them. You stop trying to control women and instead, you understand them, which is where real power begins. See, most men never get to this level of awareness. They spend their entire lives guessing, chasing, or complaining, never realizing that women are constantly communicating, just not always with words. Every look, every tone shift, every emotional withdrawal, it's all data. But only a man grounded in his presence, detached from emotional chaos, can read that data accurately. When you're calm, observant, and emotionally self-reliant, women reveal everything without saying a word. Their defenses drop, their authenticity surfaces, and they begin to relax in your presence. Because you've created something rare: safety without submission, leadership without control, desire without desperation. That's the foundation of true masculine strength. Not dominance, not arrogance, but grounded awareness. And the moment you embody that, everything about how women respond to you changes. They stop testing you so often. They open up faster. They trust your direction. They respect your silence. And most importantly, they feel something around you that they can't easily explain. A calm, powerful energy that draws them in. Understanding women isn't about memorizing rules or techniques. It's about awareness. It's about decoding what's never spoken. Because once you can see what's hidden, the game stops being a mystery. You stop chasing. You stop overanalyzing. And you start leading, not from ego, but from strength. That's when relationships become easier. That's when attraction becomes effortless. And that's when women begin to see you as something most men never become: grounded, self-contained, and unshakable. Because in a world full of noise, the man who can stay calm, lead with quiet confidence, and understand what's not being said, will always stand out. Because here's the truth. Women don't want perfection. They want presence. They don't need a man who never feels anything. They want a man who can feel deeply without losing control. They want to look at you and sense that you understand the world, that you move through chaos with composure, that you can face emotion, hers or yours, without flinching. That kind of man is rare. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't beg for reassurance. He doesn't crumble when things get uncomfortable. He stands firm, centered, grounded, and aware. And ironically, the moment you stop trying to make women like you, is the moment they start feeling something real for you. Because you've stopped operating from need. You've stopped performing. You've stopped treating her attention like oxygen. You've returned to your core, to that quiet masculine stillness that commands respect without ever asking for it. So the next time you're talking to a woman, pay attention to what's not being said. Look beyond the smile, beyond the words. Listen to the pauses, the tone, the subtle changes in energy. That's where truth lives. Because women rarely tell you exactly what they want. They show you. And when you can see through the performance, through the layers of social conditioning and self-protection, you stop reacting and start leading. That's when the dynamic shifts. She feels your steadiness. She feels your depth. And suddenly, she doesn't just like you, she respects you. And respect, that's the foundation of attraction that lasts. Because desire without respect burns fast, but respect combined with desire, that's what keeps the fire alive. So remember these 7 truths, not to manipulate, not to play games, but to understand. Because understanding gives you control, not over her, but over yourself. And when you master yourself, your emotions, your energy, your presence, you stop chasing connection and start creating it naturally. That's what true masculine power looks like. It's calm, it's grounded, and it never needs to prove itself.